Hello guys, it's StormBoy13 and thank you so much for waiting. I couldn't have got it up earlier because I was away, but we have the September 2019 Outlook up on this channel. Now, what will the predictions be for September? Now, I know it's a bit relatively late, but it's, a week's time everything could just change. But the predictions, what I think will happen in September, is that we're expecting to see sunshine totals a bit below average, so quite a cloudy month until probably at the end where there's a big change will be, potentially happening. Rainfall totals will be around average though, so nothing too dry, nothing too wet. A few very wet days, but overall rainfall totals where they should be. Temperatures also around average, but potentially it could turn very warm by the end of next month, but there might be a few warm days at times, but they're generally not going to be persistent ones. But let's go through week by week. So we start off, September starts on a Sunday, so I'll add the extra Sunday in from Sunday the 1st to Friday the 6th. So for the first full week of September, and that's the week where loads of schools and colleges reopen for the students to go back to. Normally around September. The weather's actually not that bad though. It doesn't normally start off dreary straight away, but few years have, but most years haven't. And it's not looking actually too bad. A lot of dry weather throughout the first week, but there won't be a huge amount of sunshine though. It will be relatively cloudy-ish. There may be some hazy sunshine. The temperatures will be around average, maybe a few degrees above on a few days. There will be one day throughout the first week, temperatures could reach as high as 22, maybe 23 degrees Celsius if you get the best of the sunshine. Generally, I would say fairly warm, quite warm, but it's close to average. Mostly cloudy, but warm in any sunshine, and only a little bit of light rain or drizzle at times. So I think there's a relatively weak ridge of high pressure for the first week of September, so the weather will be relatively settled. So to begin a new academic year. So for the first weekend of September, the weather will then start to turn a little bit more unsettled. Low pressure will be taking over. The temperatures, nothing too cold though. The winds will be staying around, or on the warm side of the low pressure system, so we're not going to see a huge drop in the temperature, but it will produce a change in the weather. So predictably, first weekend of September, 7th and the 8th, some spells of rain, showers, maybe a few heavy thundery ones mixed in, with some dry interludes, and there will be a little bit more sunshine maybe around throughout the weekend, but overall we'll be turning more unsettled, and temperatures around in the high teens typically. Then as we approach into the second week of September, and it is going to be a much more unsettled second week, unfortunately. Temperatures will be much closer to average, maybe a little bit below on 1 or 2 days, but not a huge drop, just generally quite a bit of rain around, some wet days. There could be a few thundery, showery days, thunderstorm days I would say. There might be 1 or 2 days you might get away with a dry day, but I think the emphasis is for the second week, expect a lot more rain around. And temperatures, like I said, close to average. The sunshine totals will be a little bit dull once again, so when you get any dry weather, sunshine might be a little bit of a challenge to come by. So I would say the second week could be quite windy as well. Windy and wet throughout the second week of September, with 1 or 2 potentially very wet days with at least 10mm or more. So second week may not be looking so pretty. The second weekend will be looking a bit better. The pressure will be rising, so the weather will recover. But I think there might be a few isolated showers possible, but I think a bit more dry and possibly sunnier weather for the second weekend. Temperatures out in the sunshine, we may possibly see a little bit of a warmth to it, so low 20s is not out of the question. And I would say the second weekend isn't actually looking too bad at all. Some warm weather, a few isolated showers, but more sunshine. It won't actually be a bad weekend. Then the third week, 16th to the 20th, and actually the weather will be settling down quite a bit. The third week there is not a lot of rain, so 1 week will be dry, next week will be wet, and then the third week is actually maybe turning drier again. But not a lot of sunshine though, once again, has to be said. I think particularly in the morning times, a lot of cloud, it won't be out of the question. I think the best of the sunshine could be around into the afternoon hours. We've got a high pressure, but we haven't got a southerly as I predict, so we will be sticking to a westerly, maybe occasionally northwesterly. So temperatures will be around average and maybe potentially a little bit below average on 1 or 2 days. But I think it won't be a bad third week, just a lot of cloud, temperatures close to average, and yeah, but generally will be fairly dry. And then the third weekend, 21st and 22nd, it looks like it might be turning unsettled once again. We could possibly see like some stormy weather. Some big lows will be heading towards our region throughout the third weekend, and it will be the autumn equinox around that time. I was probably predicting my start off dry on Saturday with the best of the sunshine, but then on Sunday it could turn downhill with some wet and possibly some very windy conditions. Potentially we may get a storm name. I forgot what the storm name for A would be, but I wouldn't be surprised we would get it about the second half of September, and it could be feeling much colder as well. So I would say the second half of the third weekend it could go downhill. Then from that, the fourth week, 23rd to 27th, and I think especially the beginning of the week, it could turn quite stormy. Temperatures could be well below average for a few days, with into the low teens at the very best. Some heavy rain, potentially quite squally winds. Like I said, storms won't be out of the question. But I think throughout the second half of the fourth week, I'm predicting that we will be seeing a much more dry interlude, with the best of the sunshine towards the second half of the week, and temperatures could possibly turn a bit warmer, might get into low 20s to end the fourth week. So it will be a huge recovery compared to what the fourth week will begin with. So a very changeable fourth week once again. And then just to close off the last few days of September, from 20th to 30th, is actually potentially we could see some very, very warm air sweeping across the Mediterranean, which we could potentially have an Indian summer with temperatures maybe into the mid-20s. I'm not predicting record-breaking temperatures at this stage just yet, but we get the Azores high, sweeping in that continental air, rising across all of Europe and then heading towards the UK. Potentially, or I should say possibly, mid-20s is not out of the question, with plenty of sunshine to end September. So that's what the outcome, what I predict could bring for September. So just to finish things off, overall the month of September, slightly duller than average, but there will be a few sunny days, especially by the end of the month. Rainfall totals will be close to average. There will be a few very wet days, but I think there will be some showery days. But I think overall, plenty of dry days too, so around average, and temperatures will be quite close to average, but a few cold days and a few warm days overall. So there you go, guys, that's the prediction for September 2019. We'll see in a couple of weeks whether I'm right or not. Most months I've been incorrect, so I've been way off, but we'll see how this goes. So anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Give it a like, comment and subscribe, and like I said, there are many more uploads to be up. I know you just saw the past one was the heavy thunderstorms in Negril and Jamaica, and there'll be loads more up in the next few days. And also, if you had your GCSE results today, because today's GCSE results day, best of luck to the results, and if you passed, congratulations. If not, it's never too late, you can retake them. It's not the end of the world for you. And that's it. Not much else to be said. Just stay tuned to this channel. More uploads will be coming up, and also a brand new intro will be out on Monday, and I think you'll definitely love this one. But for now, Storm is now out.